Hello, my name is Emma, and today we are going to learn a very important word, and that word is commute. I notice many English language learners don't know this word, but it's a very useful word because it's a word we can use every day. So what does this word commute mean? Well, commute, as I said, it's a common word. We use it a lot in conversation. And what it means is it means the travel between our home or where we live and our workplace or school. So here's a picture of a home. Here's a picture of, an office or the workplace. The commute is the travel between these two places. We can also use it to talk about the travel from home to school. So for students, this is useful. If you commute to school or you go to school, you can use the word commute. If you work outside of the home, you can also use this word commute. So commute can be both a noun and a verb, and I'll show you how to use it in both of these ways. Let's look at some common questions people might ask about commutes. So one question people ask frequently is they might ask somebody, how long is your commute? What does this mean? It means how long does it take you to get to work? Or how long does it take you to get from your home to school? So, if we're ever talking about work, maybe at a party or in a social event, a lot of the times we might talk about our commute. How long is your commute? You might say, I have an hour commute. I have a 1 hour commute. This means this trip from your home to your work or your home to your school takes 1 hour. For many people, that's a long commute, depending on the city you live. Some people are lucky. They have a short commute. Maybe it's 10 minutes to get from their house to work, or 10 minutes to get from their home to school. In the comments, I want you to write, how long is your commute? You can write to practice, I have a 2-hour commute, or I have a 15-minute commute, or whatever it might be for you. You can also say, my commute is 1 hour. My commute is short. So there's different ways to say this. You can say my commute, or you can say I have a blank hour commute. Let's look at some other key questions you might hear using the word commute. A common question you might get is, how do you commute? Or, what's your commute like? When people ask this, they want to know about your trip from home to work and from work back to home, or home to school and school back to home. So what might you say? Well, when we talk about transportation, we often use the preposition by. So here are some different ways people commute. They might commute by foot. This means walking. So they might commute by foot. That means they walk to their job. They might commute by bike. They ride a bike to their job. They might commute by subway or by train or by car. How do you commute? Do you commute by foot? Do you commute by car? Think about, how do you get to work in the morning? So here's some examples of an answer. If somebody said, how do you commute? Or what's your commute like? I would think about it and say, I have an easy commute. This means work is close by. It's a quick commute. It's an easy commute. If it's easy, maybe it's 5 minutes away by bike. I could also say, my commute is 15 minutes by subway, or it's a 30-minute commute by car. None of these are true, by the way. I actually have a very long commute. It's almost an hour. But just to give an example, what I want to point out is in each of these sentences, I use by, and then I have the method of commuting. So the method of getting to work. By bike, by subway, by car. So in the comments, I would like to know how you commute to work or to school. So you can say, I commute every day by train. It's a 45-minute commute. Again, these are very common things we say when we're talking to people about our everyday lives, because a lot of us have to commute most days. So we talked about commute. There's another really good word I want you to know, and that word is away. Away is a great word to use when talking about distance, so how far one thing is from another. We can use it when talking about commutes. We can use it when talking about travel. There's many different situations where we can use this word away. So just to remind you, how far means what's the distance. So you might ask somebody, oh, how far is your work? How far is your work? That means what is the distance? Somebody might say it's 5 kilometers away, or it's 2 minutes away. So the nice thing about this word away is you're talking about distance and you have a choice. You can talk about distance using kilometers or miles or whatever you use in your country. Some countries use kilometers, some miles. Or you can also use time, the duration. How long does it take to get there? My work is 2 minutes away. So you can use either this form of distance or you can use time distance when you're using away. It's a very useful word. Here's another example. So this one is not about commuting, but for a lot of people, they don't live in a city. If somebody says, oh, where do you live? I live 2 hours away from Toronto. I live 5 hours away from Milan. I live 30 minutes away from the city. So you can see that when you're talking about where you live and where you work, this word away is a really useful word. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the word commute. I also wanted to show you this word away because it has to do with commuting, but we can use it in other situations as well. So again, these are really useful words for talking about our everyday lives. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you visit www.engvid.com. There you can do a quiz to practice these words and make sure you really understand them. You can also subscribe to my channel. I have many videos on conversation, expressions, vocabulary, writing, learning English, and so much more. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time.